Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. We have something kind of different today. I wanted to kind of share how I made something. I had a lot of people ask how I made this, and there's no real easy way for me to explain how I made it. So I figured I would kind of do a small tutorial on it, and maybe that would help people in case they wanted to make it too. But this is basically what it is. It is Sailor Moon's brooch from the book, or from Crystal, I guess, the first season of Crystal. And when I originally made this, I took a picture of it before I put the clear coat on. And the clear coat is okay, but I'm not a huge fan of it. So I was gonna make a new one anyways, just to see and try a different clear coat and see if I get any better results. But these are the supplies you will need to make this. These are basic supplies. I think you can find them. But I got this button at Walmart, but they also have it at Joann's in white. So that's two stores you can find this at. This is, there's the measurements right there, of how big it is. And yeah, I found this at Walmart and Joann's. This, though, these little buttons are, they got this foil on the back, so they look like gems. But I found these at Walmart. I don't know if they have them at Joann's or maybe even Michael's. But there you go. They're just little buttons that look like gems, and they got foil on the back. But I thought they would work really well for what I want to do, and you need 4 of them, so I get 4 of them out. So that's the button, and I've used these for several things. You can make her Odango discs out of these, and I've done that. I've made other brooches out of these. So yeah, these work really well for a lot of different projects. So there's that. You'll need some fabric paint, and this is for putting the designs on the main gem, like the little moon design. And I use gold because I'm going to paint it gold anyways, but I think you can get away with any color because I'm going to spray paint over it anyways. But yeah, this is the gold fabric paint, and I think I got this at Hobby Lobby, yeah, for $1. And then I need 4 different colored Sharpies. These are the ones that I use, but any Sharpies will probably work as long as it's permanent marker. You'll be fine. And then I need some Scotch tape. This is probably a step that you can pass up, and I'll show you when we do it, but yeah, I use tape because it's a little easier. And this is the stuff that's going to hold all your buttons together. It's just basic joy wire, and it's pretty important. And then this is a little hair barrette, but it has 2 different things on it. It has safety pin type 1, and then it has the hair barrette. But I think I use this one the most for the bows, so it'll go on your bow and you can take it off pretty easily. Works pretty well. It doesn't ruin your bow or anything. And I've already used this once, that's why there's still glue on there. But yeah, I'm gonna put this on the back. And then you have 2 different kinds of spray paint. This is the Rust-Oleum brand, and I use this a lot. I really like Rust-Oleum. I think it works really great. And it bonds to plastic, which I use a lot of, so. But this is the metallic bright gold color, and that's what's on there right now on the other one. So there's that. I also use the Rust-Oleum crystal clear enamel, but what's on there right now is Mod Podge. And I use the outdoor version because it's supposed to be a good sealer for being outdoors and waterproof and stuff, which it seems to be working pretty well for that, but it kind of stays a little bit sticky, and it also kind of dulls down the color a bit. So I wanted to try the Rust-Oleum version that I have here that I used on my Silence Glaive a while back. So I'm gonna try it and see if I get any different results. And then the last thing you need is a hot glue gun, because this is what you use to put the little silver barrette on, as well as kind of bond these pieces together a little better to make them a little bit sturdier. This is just to hold the beads and stuff from rolling away from me. But we'll try to get this thing together. I'm not really great at tutorials, but we shall try it. Alright, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your jewelry wire and just cut yourself off a couple of inches. You're going to need 4 of these. And you don't have to measure this at all, just give yourself a good bit of it. That way you're going to have enough, because you're going to cut off some probably anyways. Alright, once you get that cut out, this is what's going to be going on the back of this. So you want to put this on the back. And I think last time I just folded these around a couple of times to give them kind of a sturdiness. Just kind of wrapped it around here. And pulled it through. Like so. And then I started wrapping these 2 together. And then I put it through this. I'll start at the bottom and line these up. Like that. Put it through the other hole and pull it through. You want to try to line these up as close to the bottom so they go like this. And then you just bring this back down here. To get it lined up. And then I just twisted this around like this. So then you have something that looks like this. And here's the back. And I'm just going to cut off some of this excess here. You don't want that getting in your way. Like so. And then just to hold it together, I took a little bit of tape and put it on the back here to hold it in place. And then I'm going to cut off this excess. Like that, because you only want it to be able to hold on the black part. Like so. And this could be temporary until you get all the pieces on, but I just kind of used it so then it would hold it in place a little better. And then you just do the other ones. Alright, so the end result is this. And you're going to see these are kind of loose, but that's where the hot glue gun is going to be coming in. I tried to line each one of these up to this little point here. Skip 3, another point, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, you see what I mean? So there's a little point, so they're all lined up as good as I can get, but once I put the hot glue on these, you can still adjust them a little bit more to make them a little bit more even with each other. So let me get the hot glue gun out and I'll show you the next step. Alright, so here's where your hot glue gun comes in. And you just want to take some of this across here and over to the metal piece and a little bit on top of the back of the button. Like that. And then just hold it into place until it dries. And you want to do this that way it keeps it from moving, because right now it's just on metal, so it wants to move around. And what's good about it though is even though you're gluing it, you can still slightly move it in case you need to adjust it by hand, but it's not going to be all shaky like these ones are right now. They're wanting to move. You don't really want it to move around when you're wearing it. And you can put your finger over the hot glue once it starts getting a little drier to kind of form it a little better. But you want to do this to every single one of the gems, or the gem buttons, to secure them in place. After you get them all glued, this will be pretty much what it looks like. It's not super pretty, but it gets the job done. And like I said, you can kind of adjust these a little bit still, even though there's glue on the back. But then once you do that, you just get your little barrette thing. It's gonna want to fill it up with glue. And I tried to line mine up. That way, when you flip it over, you won't be able to see this little part sticking out. So it'll be kind of like that. There's a lot of glue back there, but you just take off some of the excess with your fingers. It'll come off. Might not look super pretty, but you won't notice it because you only be seeing the front. So, yeah. So there's that. And that's pretty much what we're at now. After you get all of that accomplished, we're going to be getting the fabric paint out and shake it up real good. And you want to get some of the air bubbles out. I usually use the lid for this, but just make sure it starts working. And I think last time I started up here at this little corner, right there and right there, to start the moon out. And it could be kind of tricky, so I mean, if you mess up, you can start wiping some of it off. And sometimes I like to clean it up a little bit, just to kind of get some of the excess off that I messed up. And once you get that drew out like that, then you're going to want to do some little designs. Alright, so this is kind of what I came up with. And you can do whatever you really want. Whatever kind of design that you think would look nice. And if you make a mistake, this stuff you can take off pretty easily from plastic as long as you get it rather quickly. Don't let it sit there for very, very long. And then you just try again until you get something that you really like. I really like the original one that I did, but I'm not too picky with it. As long as you get a nice little design in there to kind of replicate how her moon looks like on the compact. Be kind of tricky though to get a really cool design, but this is what I came up with, so we'll go from there. And we're gonna want to let this sit and dry for a few hours and just check it later. You can, if you want, let it sit overnight before you do the next step, but that's pretty much it for now, and we'll come back and do the spray paint next. Alright, so I've let this sit a few hours to dry, and this is completely dry now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some masking tape, and this step you can really use whatever you feel comfortable in. And we're going to cover over these gems because we don't want them to be painted by accident. And I like to use masking tape because it comes off really easily with the paint on it. And I just want to cover these gems over really, really well. Alright, so that ought to do it. So let's go out and spray paint the gem gold. Alright, so we have it completely painted now. It's in this nice gold color. It really helps the gold that we put down here stand out really nicely. So it's all one solid color. And we're going to take these off. Now these are our little protectors from the gold paint. Oh, there we go. Now we just have to check it over a little bit, make sure there's no residue from the tape left behind. But once you figure that out, we're going to take our colored Sharpies here and color the gems in. And you just want to do a nice coloring. Try to get it completely covered. And also try not to get any on the gold or anywhere else it's not supposed to be. So there's your red one. And now we'll do the blue one, which is on the bottom. And there's your blue. Next, we'll do the orange. Alrighty. And lastly is the green. We have a full color of gems. So you can stop right here and just stick with what you have right now. But I like to make sure that these colors stay these colors. So what you might have to do is put a clear coat on. Now, like I said last time, I used the Mod Podge. I didn't really like how it turned out. So I thought I was going to go ahead and try this Rust-Oleum brand and see if it works a little bit better. But I'm gonna let this sit for just a little while and let the colors dry really well. And then I'll do the clear coat and we'll see what the final results are. Alright, so here's the final product. This is the one I just made. As you can tell, the Rust-Oleum spray paint is a much better coating than the Mod Podge one. You can't see the brush strokes or anything. It's really high gloss, so it keeps all the shininess of the gemstones and everything I just painted with the permanent marker. So yeah, I'm really happy with this versus this one. Now this would be something you could do if you were living in an apartment, you can't go outside and spray paint, whatever. You could, instead of the gold spray paint, you could probably do acrylic. It won't look as nice as this, obviously. Yeah, the Mod Podge is just not as nice as the spray paint, but that looks really nice. I'm really happy with it. They do make the Rust-Oleum clear gloss in a matte finish, so in case you wanted to do a project that has a dollar finish to it, that's an option. But of course, something like this, you want it to be nice and shiny so you can see everything. But yeah, I'm really happy with this, and the clasp is really easy to use. You can put it right on here, and there you go. So I hope you guys like this little tutorial on how to make the crystal brooch or the manga brooch or whatever you want to call it. And if you have any questions extra, you can leave them in the comments below and I will try to help you. There's also other options you could probably do with some of this and tweak it in your own way. But I will see you guys next time. Alright, bye.